The Out of Our League podcast is proudly sponsored by New Scotland Spirits. New Scotland Spirits distills rye, wheat, bourbon, and single malt whiskies from grains grown in the fields of New Scotland, New York, and then ages its spirits for over half a decade in charred oak barrels at the base of the Helderberg Mountains. Order online at newscotlandspirits.com and raise your game with our Helderberg whiskies. New Scotland Spirits. Nostalgia in a bottle, a good time in a glass.
Hello, everyone. My name is Greta, and this is Out of Our League, the show that chronicles the lives of the 12 members of the LOCAS League who have yet to be kicked out. As always, I'm joined by League Commissioner Figs, League member Elayne, and Draft Day Daddy Jesse.
Okay, hold on one second.
Someone had the genius idea to have us in here the day after draft.
In the morning,
Hungover.
AM.
So here we are.
Would you guys prefer to talk about what a shit show draft day was before we go into...
100%, please.
I had a
Please.
feeling. I had a feeling. So,
Thank you.
Greta, do this one more time.
Yeah, you see?
We'll raise the energy level up.
How are you
How are you
raising our energy
I was
level?
literally like,
Please.
right here. How are you raising our energy
Do it.
Because I know of two ways. And
Guys, here's the
those
deal.
things aren't here right
I just need you guys to fucking turn
very,
it on.
very important
All right,
over
go.
here.
Reread it again, G.
Hello, everyone. My name is Greta, and this is Out of Our League, the show that chronicles the lives of the 12 members of the LOCAS League who have yet to be kicked out. As always, I'm joined by League Commissioner Figs, League member Elayne, and Draft Day Daddy Jesse.
Satisfied?
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You seem to be a little bit under the weather. Why would that be?
Because we had our draft yesterday, and someone had the genius idea to have us in here the day immediately after in the morning.
The morning. Immediately.
Yeah, on the other hand, we're getting like the unvarnished review of draft day. I mean, for your league, this is a pretty big day. This is the day after the kickoff to the fantasy sports season, right?
Well, there's the issue.
Correct.
There's the issue in your performance. This is not the most important day. Yesterday was the most important day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in case you forgot.
I obviously, Figs, as executive commissioner, I know you want to get into this. Why don't we just get it out into the open? You were not pleased with my performance as the ref.
You act like it was just me isolated with this opinion.
I know that you were leading the charge. Are you
leading the charge. These are all independent women, and they all turned on you for a reason.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to give a little context here for our listeners.
Please.
Before you guys just go off into this. So last year at our draft, as it usually goes, Daniela Figs was in charge of the gauntlet, which is what we do during draft day to determine our draft order. It's a series of drinking games that the sole purpose behind them is to get you as fucked up as possible so that your drafting abilities are a little
influenced. So that they're
inhibited.
influenced.
Sure. Okay.
She was doing a great job.
I know. I mean, I'm done with this situation to my right. So, this, it was a little dicey last year. It got a little fucked up. Figs, we can say that you got upset. You got upset.
I lost my shit. You can say exactly what happened.
And
side texts of people bitching, the whole thing.
Yeah,
Lost
draft
my
day, Daddy loved it. We almost lost our commissioner. So what we decided to do this year was have draft day, Daddy be in charge of the 12 women and the gauntlet, that was the intention.
That's
And
his whole job.
how did that go? How do you guys think that went?
Abysmal.
Yeah. We actually put out a survey for the girls to let us know immediately after draft at peak inebriation how they felt that Jesse did. I don't know if you have that survey or if we can pull up.
Yeah, I'll pull it up and we'll go over the results. I do just want to point out that what's remarkable is that if the objective is to get people as drunk as possible to inhibit their performance, then you could say that my role yesterday was a resounding success because I will admit it went completely off the rails.
I mean, wasn't there one point that he totally fucked something up? There were people without
The cups.
numbers.
The draft order, the game for the draft order, I wrote down the numbers under each cup. I did the favor for him because he got there
Wow.
late. So I wrote down the numbers under each cup to play beer pong that would determine the draft order. And all of a sudden, there's only 6 slots left for the order, but we got like 10 girls left.
Amazing.
To throw the beer pong thingy.
Amazing.
We spoon fed you it.
We look under the cups, and there's only 3 numbers.
What you did, to be clear, what you did is you set me up for failure.
No.
Wow.
What you did, you came
So,
unprepared. You said you were going to be there on time and you weren't.
First of all, I would have been there on time had Greta.
Oh, really? We're going to play this game?
All I
The
know
lack of
is that
accountability for me, honestly. It's the lack of
literally-
accountability.
I don't have a vehicle.
We drove separately, didn't
I
we?
told you to
I had to
Uber.
take an Uber. At some point, I
So-
finally said I had to take an
Okay.
Uber.
So
told you to
an
Uber.
Uber establishes your independence from us not driving together, correct? We want to
Don't
go down
tell
this
me
road
you've never
again?
heard of Uber too.
I heard of Uber, and I successfully Ubered my way to.
So then your arrival had
location.
nothing to do with me. As a matter of fact, I was the last one there, so I had to take the
shot.
shot immediately upon entering.
I'm just saying that you were there as the last one because of a failure to plan earlier that morning.
No.
What does her
Wow.
failure to plan have your?
It has
You
nothing
know
to
what?
do with
What does
you.
it have to do with your lack of just control of our gauntlet?
I didn't have a vehicle.
After we spoon fed it to you.
When I walked in there, just because I've been indicted, I want to explain, I was given a series of cups that had numbers on the bottom. And in the course of play, which is to say beer pong, that was the final event. And women who at that point were 3 to 7 sheets to the wind stepped up, threw ping pong balls into a series of solo cups that should have had and did have numbers on the bottom of the cups.
Perfect. So the girls were 3 to 7. What was it? How many sheets to the wind did you just say? And how many sheets to the wind are you? Maybe half a sheet. So it's up to you to look to see if there was a number. Like, what do you think your role is?
When people would sink the ball
my
into the solo
God.
cup and they would lift it up to see if they'd received a number that would determine their rank in the play.
You compromised our draft.
What you required me to do was more babysitting than I realized was required of me.
Oh, so it's hard? Oh, is that what? Are you acknowledging that it's hard?
I would acknowledge that it's impossible.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
But this is your job. It's literally your one job that day.
I'm aware. I'm not saying that I did a good job. What I'm saying is when dealing with 12 hysterically inebriated women, it became very difficult to police every aspect of the play.
It did. I don't give a shit. I had multiple private meetings. What a disrespect of my time. I wrote out the games. I wrote out the explanations. I sat with you.
You did a good time. You did a good job.
Wow.
You did a good job.
I did a good time. I did a good time. Except you fucked it up in execution.
Yeah. There was a point that she was about to step in. I had to stop her. And I was like, no. This is the point of this. This is what because then if she steps in, then she's going to lose her shit like she did last year. Then, we almost lose a commissioner again.
I think
And you need to figure it the fuck out.
I think what's clear is
Or
that
get out of our fucking league.
I think what's clear
Boom.
is that more than one individual is required to manage
Wow.
the events.
Fifi did a fine job the first year.
Yep.
Where's Fifi?
Texas.
Not here.
Would you say that her relocation out of the state was directly a result of her performance at draft day?
No.
It's traumatizing for people who are trying to envision what it was like. Imagine being in a room with 12 screaming individuals, all of whom are both happy and drunk, with a little bit of raging sprinkled on top.
And
a great day.
hungover.
And
No,
some
I
of them were in fact hungover.
Yeah, we were. Because we were trying to show you a fucking good time in the city of Miami.
And it was a good time. I had a great time.
You acted like a lunatic.
It's Miami. I mean,
Why would you put videos on flash in a dark bar?
I can't.
oh, I didn't know that's how you're I mean, I don't have any understanding of what the protocol is. Like,
Clearly.
So Friday night before the draft, we go out to dinner and then we go out to a bar and he approaches me like the 40-year-old man that he is. How do you make this brighter? I'm like,
The
"What?"
bar?
What?
kind of
how
want me
do
to
I
make the-
record and make this brighter? I'm
you
like,
kidding
with
me?
flash, but it's really bright. He's like, let me see. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like a little kid.
At some point, when you have a background in creating media, lighting becomes a big issue. When I saw that the lighting that I had selected worked for the video, that's what I went with. I didn't realize until much later that I was antagonizing everyone else at the bar.
Well, then,
Anyways. It's gone. It's
you
done.
didn't realize a lot of things, huh?
So let's
In your
walk.
weekend in Miami.
Let's walk through what actually happened at Draft Day 2022.
Wait, are we gonna do the survey shit later?
Yeah, no, we do have to do the survey shit. The only problem with the survey shit is
You can't find it?
Oh, you couldn't corral all the participants to partake in the survey?
no.
I didn't even-
Wow,
I didn't
a
even
continuation of your performance as the referee of draft day.
This is the problem.
Fantastic.
You're asking for a lot of a referee. All I can do is channel people's decisions. I can't go to their house and say, "Hey, the commissioners wanted you to fill out the survey. You need to do it within the next half an hour." It's just not possible. There has to be at least a little bit of a shared mission in draft day. Really, as far as I'm concerned,
What's the problem? Why do you keep steering away from the survey?
because I'm in the midst of having.
You just don't want to sit here.
I'm in the
and
midst of
read
an
off
inquisition right now. actually.
answers about how
what-
horrifying your performance.
What is
was.
what did they respond?
We're
'Cause
gonna.
I didn't answer it.
You didn't answer.
No.
I mean, what am I supposed to do with that? Elayne, what would you have recommended that I do to
Read the questions
inspire
out
you?
loud.
No,
Read the
no,
questions
no.
out loud.
Don't-
She'll
yeah.
answer them right now.
Yeah.
All right, so here's
Don't change the topic.
Here's where these are the questions that the commissioners shared with the rest of the league.
How long does it take to read it?
I mean, this is
I'm
insanity.
like
it wants me to do ad reads, like just
on command.
yeah.
You said automotive wrong. Yep.
Okay, so
Sentiments.
question 1. Locust League Draft Day 2022. Please share with the commissioners your overall perspective on Draft Day 2022. There were 3 options. 1, I had so much fun despite how completely incompetent the referee was.
I hadn't read these.
Item 2 is the referee's abysmal performance
Oh my god.
and complete lack of preparation absolutely ruined my time. Option 3, the ref can go fuck himself.
Is there an all of the above option?
There was not, thankfully. There was not.
Do
Question
we know
number
what- do we know
2.
what the top answer
Are you?
was?
By far, it was the ref can go fuck himself.
Aren't you gonna let her answer?
Oh, in fact, yes. Is this a
No,
live
if
survey?
there was an all of the above, I would choose all of the above.
But
There's not. So,
So C.
yeah, the ref can go fuck himself. I suspected.
Okay.
Question 2. The referee was the absolute worst part of draft day. True or false?
Top answer, please.
True.
We had, with nearly everyone responding, it was true.
Wow.
Question 3. The referee should be fired for next year and replaced with a draft day manager.
Oh.
Oddly enough, the top answer was no, which I'm interpreting less as people being enthusiastic about my performance and more being a desire to shirk any responsibilities.
Correct.
Jerk?
Shirk.
Oh. Got it.
Question 4. If you believe the referee should be fired, which of the following members of the Locust League have the fortitude, courage, and talent to manage Draft Day 2023? All 12 names were listed. We had a couple for Figs, several for Steph.
Steph.
We had one for Jaxie. Interestingly enough, Steph insisted me. She pulled me aside, put her hand around my neck, and said, "You're fucking this up. I could do better than this." And so I'm just saying. I mean,
Was my name selected?
I'm prepared
No.
to tell you that it was, if that would make you feel better.
So no, is that
So
what you're
no.
saying?
Wow.
That's right.
Thanks, guys.
I don't want my
You don't
name
want
to be
it. You don't
selected
want
out.
it.
Like,
You don't want it. Mm-mm.
Greta's name was also not selected. If that's
I mean,
Perfect.
that's
I
obvious.
literally do
That's
that. like,
obvious.
I'm
shows up
I'm
late.
Glad, I'm glad these
That's
women
obvious.
understand.
If it was up to Greta, we wouldn't even start till like 5.
I just realized I didn't get any of the Rice Krispies.
I'll make you another batch.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Question 5. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being
This was my favorite.
I'm embarrassed to have been in the same room with him, and 10 being worse than Hitler, how would you rate the referee as a human being?
Top answer?
10.
I wrote -1.
Now here's where things got a little interesting, and I think we probably need to delve into this a little bit. We'll come back to it. I personally witnessed Greta and Figs colluding. Several trues. We have 1 false, several trues.
I'm gonna true over here too.
Wow.
We'll talk about that momentarily.
Interesting.
I'm colluding against myself.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you pick this guy?
You sit together, you have a strategy, and it's called collusion. Amazing.
This is an interesting question that the commissioners asked me to send along. It says, I'm confident that Kristen is going to bail on her friends again next year and force us to do all the legwork for her while she remains free from the threat of an icing. And the top answer, unanimously, true.
Wow.
So she's really begun to antagonize people by her insistence on joining the draft just
I have
by
to
FaceTime.
say,
Kristen's our league member that lives in New York that for the past few years has not been able to make it to
3 out of 4.
Yeah, has not been able to make it to the draft. I'm sure you're wondering why she isn't kicked out. It's because we absolutely love her, and we've voted several times and have voted to continue keeping her in.
I have to say though, what's annoying every draft is, hey, can you move the board a little bit to the left? No, I fucking can't.
She drafts via iPad.
I was like, no,
We have her on
Hey,
an
can you move
iPad.
your thing? No.
She's lucky she had me because I would actually be the one to move.
I know.
I'm
But
like,
she
here you
does. She
go.
dresses up.
She does.
She has all the alcohol in front of her.
No, she does not have Smirnoff Ice in front of her, which was a point of contention. Several people came to me and said that complaint had to be escalated to you, which I'm now doing formally now.
Wow. Thanks for the blindsiding.
I also will point out that what's interesting about this league is that you guys like her enough to consistently vote that she stay in the league, but not quite enough to dispense with the voting. In other words, you guys initiate the vote to kick her out, but then you decide at the last minute.
Gotta follow the process.
That's very true. It's very true. You are.
I actually
Integrity,
have a
right?
suggestion. I have a suggestion for next year. When you hide the ices, get a couple extra ices, right? Put them out and put Kristen's name on it.
Yeah.
So when somebody finds it, if it's a Kristen ice, she's got
I
to
like
bring
that
it.
for
That's
next
not gonna
year.
happen next year. She's
Why?
coming down. We're going to the Keys, baby.
Oh, that's right.
We're drafting
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
Keys
yeah.
next year,
That'll be
baby.
nice.
We are.
Yes, year 5.
Start planning the date from now.
Yeah.
This was an interesting question. This was question 8, and maybe we'll have to talk about what this meant a little bit later. It says, as far as my draft performance is concerned,
This was my favorite question. This was my favorite question and answer.
What is it? Finish.
Elayne, it says, as far as my draft performance is concerned, I am very satisfied.
Oh.
Satisfied. Preems. Could we get a little bit of backstory to that? What is that? What is that reference?
We're all freaking drafting. Some on paper, some on the laptop. Preem's.
So
Is
the
that
way
her
we
first
do-
pick? Oh
the way
wait,
that
so
we
that's
do
her
our
first
draft-
pick. It was her first pick. She goes up.
The way we do a draft, we have a draft board and we have the stickers. So when you go up, there's a timer, just, Drafty Daddy's timing everybody. And then we have the stickers that are arranged in color.
Correct.
So like running
Yeah.
backs are wide receivers are green, running backs are orange, tight ends are pink, whatever. So like, quarterbacks, etc. So
She goes up and she picks it, super confident,
super
and
confident.
she puts the name down.
La
And I look,
confianza.
And
I'm
says
like,
the name.
She's like Jared Cook, and silence. No one's talking because I guess everyone's
Jared.
typing it down and like scratching off their paper, and I'm typing it. I'm like, damn, it's not populate. Like it auto populates the names for me, so I don't have to like type the full name. And I'm like, Jared Cook, and I think it was Jackie that goes, what number is that on the sheet?
We have sheets. Like some of us have sheets that it has like the players ranked.
The top 300.
And
Top
Figs goes,
300
Figs
players.
was like, did
And
you
we're
mean
flipping sheets.
Dalvin Cook? And she's like, yeah. And everyone's like, you just picked Jared Cook.
Yeah, you can't go back. Can't undo it.
A free agent tight end.
And the best part is it's her first pick, so she can't
can't
drop
remove him, yeah.
She can't trade, like nothing. She's stuck with Jared Cook.
Help me out. Give me a little bit of background about Jared Cook, other than
She just said.
He's a free agent, meaning he is not even on a fucking football team.
And a tight
No.
end. Yes.
He is not on a, and it says it. The thing is, the stickers not only say the name, it says the position, on top of the position being a color,
Right.
and it has the team.
The team.
The team does not exist. It says FA, free agent, and she peeled it off of the sheet and stuck it and goes, Jared Cook.
Super confident.
She not only peeled it, stuck it, said the name, still didn't register that it wasn't
Walked
Dalvin.
away
Sits
with
down.
confidence.
Yeah. Oh
Walked
my God,
away
that
with
was so
confidence.
good.
Hold on, I need to really delve into this. But
Jackie
first,
killed me though. He's 359 on the sheet. I go, my sheet only goes to 300.
Oh my God.
He's 359 on the sheet.
I literally look at Greta because we use the ESPN sheets, and I was like, it only goes to 300.
hold on. Help me understand this. Please back this up for me. I don't understand the sheets. ESPN has what's the sheets?
Has fantasy cheat sheets.
cheat
So
sheets. Yeah.
So you can print out like it's basically like the players. There's a couple of them. There's the top 300 players ranked, right?
In
So-
terms of performance.
Yes.
Yes. So like
Based on fantasy, though.
Yeah, based on like their
Not
fantasy
like
value.
not like actual performance
Right.
as an athlete.
Right. It's like based on their fantasy value.
Correct.
So the top 300, and that will be, it's not positional. So they're ranked just
Mixed.
as their performances. Then you have the other cheat sheet, which ranks
By position,
the players
yeah. By
positionally. So like it'll have quarterbacks, and then you have like the top whatever
1 through 10.
Yeah, 10 quarterbacks.
I have so many questions right now. Just bear with me. Number one,
course
what do
you
you
do.
mean fantasy? Their performance in fantasy.
Because so there's back to the beginning. So there's two types of leagues. There's standard and PPR. Points per reception. So you get points per every reception. So that has a value. Like you can be somebody who gets very little touchdowns, which it's not totally uncorrelated, but you get very little touchdowns, but you're the guy. Your value is going to be higher than the guy who gets the touchdowns because every catch is a point.
In other words, so when you say for the fantasy value,
Yes.
that individual's performance, his own metrics, regardless of what he does for the team, that ends up being
The ranking.
valuable for the yes.
Correct.
Right.
And the sheets are based off of half point per reception.
Now,
Just in case you
Commissioner
guys didn't know
Figs, if
It's not standard because nobody gives a fuck.
I'll stay silent over here. I'm like, okay. Whatever you say, commish.
It's true. That's what it's. That's why those cheat sheets are based on half points per reception. So you have them ranked, mixed by position in the top 300 players, and then so that's one way to look at it. And then they have them separated by position and then ranked again.
Now, Figs, when you're saying you're talking about ESPN.
ESPN, because ESPN doesn't give a shit about standard leagues.
Right.
And what they do is they put this stuff out, and I mean, are there people out there who are doing their own metrics and rankings, or is everyone using kind of the same inputs that ESPN is publishing?
It's a lot. ESPN's popular, but other people use different sheets. Like I know, for example, Greta uses the sheets, but then she prints out articles. I know some girls use a different like ranking sheet that goes up to apparently
352.
apparently up to like 400 players. Some people use like an Excel spreadsheet that they use the rankings, but then make their own like tiers based on players they like. Everybody has their own way to do it.
And there are like websites and stuff that you can put in a player and it'll calculate their value and whatnot. I mean, I think even ESPN does that as well.
So it's not like this is because here's the thing. What I've realized, just having been a part of this right now for a couple of years, is that this is less sports and more gambling. And
I said in the beginning, educated gambling.
And this educated gambling is provided to you. It's like someone who reads a bunch of books on how to play blackjack before they go to the casino.
Correct.
That's what these sheets are. So So help me understand this. I mean, is it we're obviously it's all in good fun. We're making fun of preems, but isn't this like only her maybe second year doing it? Like,
No.
And she has another league.
She's been doing fantasy longer than all of us.
She's a veteran.
All of us.
She's a veteran, yeah.
How could she possibly, as a veteran, have made a mistake
Because
this
of the
severe?
games.
We
No,
fucked
because
her up.
because
The gauntlet was brutal this year.
yeah,
The
it was.
gauntlet was brutal.
She approached me. She's like, I need to throw up already. I'm like, me too.
So let's pause here because the
But she was also printing her sheets the morning of.
Problematic.
in other words, you're saying not prepared.
Correct.
Completely unprepared.
Problematic.
Commissioner Figs, because you have a major role in this aspect of what happened yesterday, of the sheer and outright devastation of yesterday.
I have zero guilt. If that's what you're going to ask me, I don't feel bad about it. I warned everybody. I said 100 times. How many times did I say this year is merciless? I overcorrected. Everyone was too sober last year. So if anyone wants to blame them, anybody, blame yourself.
The gauntlet got me too. They got me, man.
Did I not say it?
And you're
ladies?
like one of the more serious contenders during these draft days. And even you were like kind of knocked off a little bit.
Yeah.
Not Jared Cook.
Not Preem's knocked off.
Yeah.
Free
but-
agent tight end.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this. So last year, Commissioner Figs, you looked at draft day and you said, we have a problem here, and it's that people are still too sober.
Yep.
You then, overcorrecting is an understatement. You specifically wanted, mathematically, when you gave me the directions as to how you wanted
That
people
you
to drink,
failed to execute properly on.
I was looking at it, doing the math. I was like, at this rate, these women are going to be taking something to the tune of 10 to 12 shots.
Yep.
And depending on if they got unlucky, an additional 3 to 4 Smirnoff Ices.
Yep.
Wakala.
Would you say that you're pleased with the amount of intoxication?
Yes.
Was
I'm
that
repeating
the right,
this again.
That was the right
We're
level.
doing it again.
It was so bad.
Why? Because if you are incredibly fucked up, but you prepare, that shit is ingrained in your brain. So I don't care if you're blacked out. You're prepared, that shit is ingrained.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you also say there's an
I get
element-
blacked out. I'm not going to jump off of the roof of a house. Why? Because that's just ingrained in my brain. I'm not going to do it.
I get blacked out. I'm not going to select Jared Cook as my first pick.
It's ingrained in your brain.
Ingrained in your brain.
The only tight end you're going first pick is not a free agent.
Travis Kelce.
Correct.
You're welcome.
Calling all influencers, content creators, agencies, and brands. If you're seeking a place to record your podcast but don't live in the Miami area, then get yourself on a fucking flight, because there isn't a facility in Manhattan that rivals HGAB Studios at 46 Northwest 36th Street. And if you knew what Jessie did with her there last night, you'd agree that your mother's basement isn't an ideal recording location either. The Out of Our League podcast is proud and grateful to record in HGAB's podcast studios. The Gen Zers running this place keep their rates competitive to support Miami's creative community. And if you're listening to us or watching the show on social media, you already know it doesn't get sexier and more professional than this. With easy-to-use recording equipment, advanced production capabilities, and the industry's best mics and lenses, HGAB Studios is where the path to the big league starts. Or at least we fucking hope it does. Otherwise, it's back to your mother's basement so we can get in on the action too. Go to hgabstudios.com and book a session. But don't reserve our time slot because we got here first. We're out of our league at HGAB Studios in Miami. Deuces.
There is an element of luck to this, though. Like, for example,
No,
icing.
not with Jared Cook, there isn't.
But wouldn't she was a casualty of I mean, she hit ices like, you know,
She didn't study, Jesse. That's what I'm telling you.
that's what you're attributing
You
it to not
have
studying.
if you have a strategy and you fine tune it, it doesn't matter how fucked up you get, you stick to it. There's nothing that's going to knock you off of that.
In fairness, though, Commissioner Figs, is it not true that when you would walk around the house, you would keep your eyes directly on the ground?
Yeah.
And with your hands up as blinders because you didn't want to see an extra Smirnoff Ice
Yeah.
hidden.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was doing the same thing.
That is also a strategy.
Yeah. I was doing, but I think we stayed in a circle and just kind of like looked
Everyone
at
did,
each
yeah.
other.
Yep.
Except the bathroom one.
I would only look at
everyone miss because they didn't wash their hands.
Let me give some context.
I didn't even go to the bathroom. I was like,
Me
nope.
neither.
UTI instead.
Yeah.
The context there is that Commissioner Figs, having charged me with hiding Smirnoff Ices around the house, I did, in fact, hide a Smirnoff Ice under the hand towel in the bathroom, along with the Smirnoff Ice that was in the toilet. And what I think is particularly interesting about that is it means that Crystal, who was the one who was unfortunately the finder of the toilet Smirnoff Ice, removed the Smirnoff Ice and then didn't wash her hands
Exactly.
Because
Nobody's
she-
going to pee next year.
because she didn't see
You know what?
the ice
Azo.
under
She
the-
wasn't
for
the
everyone.
only one though, because Stephanie went in before me.
Oh.
So I ran to
Here,
her.
I'm sorry. Weren't you her lawyer?
Yes, but I I mean, come on, that's you know what?
There's
Judge,
no client confidentiality here. You can, by all means, throw her under the bus.
I peed, washed my hands as soon as I'm like, oh shit. And I ran to her. I'm like, you didn't see this? She's like, I didn't wash my hands. Bitch, you're disgusting.
Elayne,
So either way,
Disgusting.
ew.
Elayne,
Ew.
that wasn't, however, the only time that you had the heart-sinking feeling of having discovered an ice. Do you recall another time where you found an ice?
Where?
Was it?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
What happened?
Ah!
What happened? What happened? What's going on? Wait, wait, there seems to be a delay of play. Wait, what happened? Was
That was in there?
Was that? Apparently someone got an ice.
That was great.
Okay, but your face, you did this.
Instantly. Love it here. It's great.
Another 12 times.
Love it. Woo! Hold on, set through. Yeah.
How do you feel? Icy? Like shit.
That's like the one thing that I'm like, wow, what a great one.
The game that we were
That's
playing was what was it called? The mystery box?
Yep.
And you had to put your hand in a mystery box and there was a piece of paper and you would pull out, either a number or a sip or a shot. And I stuck my hand in the box. I'm feeling towards the right. I'm like, let's just, feel around. And when I turned my hand to the left, there's a freaking ice in there and I wanted to die.
The thing that was so remarkable, and like, fortunately we have this on camera, and perhaps Ben will be able to splice it in here. The look on your face.
I was so mad.
There was such, like, you were looking directly in my eyes as though it were Christmas. Your hand was in there. You were about to pick a number. You had so much optimism exuding from your face. And when you felt the Smirnoff Ice, it just fell.
Drained would be a better
blood
word.
drained from her face.
I literally go into the games. I'm like, Elayne, you're going to do great. You're not going to have to take so many shots. I'm like, yes, I'm going to pick a number first hand in, first beer
Like
pong.
mindset type
Yeah,
of
I'm
thing,
like,
right?
I got this. Fucking nice. And I was already on the verge of like, I had unbuttoned my pants. I was so bloated and hungover.
We were taking tequila shots the night before.
Ugh. What are we? In high school? Like, what are we? It
So
was just so bad.
So when we're talking about the draft, we had round one, and obviously there was tragically the situation with poor Preems. The rounds continued for
True tragedy.
I believe it was only 8 rounds
Yeah.
before Greta first declared, "I'm fucking done with this. I'm on
my
auto
God.
draft."
Yeah.
Now, would
And
you?
she didn't.
would
You kept going.
Did I?
No.
Yes, she did.
Actually,
She has a full team.
we can check the tapes. What actually happened, Figs, is that when it reached back to her
Ingrained in your brain, baby.
at round 9, she decided to put a player's name in round 9, and only later, because there's no penalty for not busting the time hack, she later put another board up, or another name on the board for round 8. There's a couple questions derivative of this. The first is, do you think there needs to be a defined penalty for busting the 90 seconds, then the 60 seconds, then the 30 seconds that you get to pick a player?
I don't think it's a penalty. You just get skipped. So if you don't declare someone within those 90 seconds and the person after you picks the person that you're potentially wanting, sorry.
In other words, they
That's
can
the
still
penalty. That's the risk that you're running.
But you don't skip the round. You still get to pick someone.
You get to pick someone. However, I'm sure that if you take your sweet ass time, the next people are picking maybe somebody that you want, and you just keep getting screwed.
Do you think, this is just brainstorming, do you think that having automated names or automatic names that someone would be responsible for saying, oh, you know what, you didn't pick it within 90 seconds, here's Jared Cook, slap it on the board for them?
somebody picked Jared Cook?
My point being that someone on that side of the sheets all the way down there, like,
I don't have sheets past 300, so I don't know. But 2, you could barely keep us together on picking. I would love to see how you would add the element of like being responsible for keeping tabs of who you need to pick for.
That's right. So in other words, logistically, there's simply no way to deny someone the ability to after their time hack has been busted.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Because free agency opens up anyways. So they're going to pick somebody anyways.
Now, when Greta declared, fuck it, I'm on auto draft, the oxygen in the room was sucked out. Like the momentum really changed.
Yeah.
In other words, Greta's overall charisma, as far as I witnessed, it started a trend. People started saying, fuck it.
Oh, I didn't want to say fuck. I was like, I'm not going to fuck it.
You did say it.
I'm not going to fuck it. I'm like, I'm going to keep going.
The truth is,
and I was like, does anybody care? No. Cool. So guess what? I'm going to keep going.
But wait a second.
And if all these people don't care, I'm just going to go, does anybody care? No, nobody's moving.
Does anybody? With respect, Commissioner Figs, if I may.
With respect.
You did at around, okay, I'll admit, you continued beyond round 8. But by round, I want to say 10, you were saying, fuck this, it's auto draft.
Yeah.
Because Steph, I believe, was the last person to insist that the draft continue.
shocking.
And I believe someone...
And Greta went ham on Steph.
Oh, I
Did
got
I?
it. Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm
my God,
looking
what did
at
I
Jesse
do?
and I'm like,
Wait, what did I do?
We'll have to check the
What did
tape.
you do?
Autopilot.
what didn't you do? Is the question.
No, for real. What
Yeah.
happened?
You
Yo,
went
you guys,
ham.
I'm not kidding.
You went
I
ham on Steph.
don't
You went
recall
ham.
this at all.
I wanted
thought
to
it was gonna
defend,
be. I thought it was
but
gonna be
I
a
was
fight.
so scared of you that I'm like, I don't want to be
I
in
thought
the
it was gonna
shots
be a fight.
area. Like,
Can someone tell me what happened? I literally
Yes,
have no idea.
I thought it was going to be a fight. Did
I
you?
thought so too.
I will tell
man.
you, Greta, decided that the hill you were going to die on draft day was that Steph wanted to continue drafting, and you were over it. You were so over it, you got in her face.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, got in her face while sitting down.
Yeah.
We're sitting down, and at one point, I thought you were going to reach.
I thought so too.
You were ready to throw down.
Pick up and stick, Greta! It doesn't matter, all the kickers suck after this! Go pick up the pick, it doesn't matter! It literally doesn't matter! This is trash. Like every player... Oh, I'm sorry. You can literally be like, oh! I'm on auto draft. Oh, now we are on auto draft. Because you're done, so now we're on auto draft. Because Greta said, put your pick and we're done, so I'm done.
I thought you were going to throw hands.
Yeah.
Yo, I
You were like
swear
this
to God.
close to her,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to auto draft.
For those,
I was like, all right, here we go. Auto
I'm
draft.
such a treat. Oh my God, I don't remember this at all.
Afternoon delight.
For those who are just listening to the podcast, what you didn't see when Elayne was giving her demonstrative gesture, she had her middle finger up in Figs' face to illustrate what Greta was doing to...
I did that?
Oh,
yes,
yes,
plenty
you
of
did.
times, honey. Plenty
Yep.
of times.
Have you guys ever seen the way she drives?
Yes.
She keeps her middle finger up in the driver's side window, and the right hand is beeping. So there's the wheel is not being controlled.
But that's a
It is
Miami
technically
driver.
on the horn.
That's literally a Miami driver.
Send your fucking request.
Bro. I mean,
So Greta, I have to ask, you don't have a recollection of this because you at this point were fucked up.
yeah, I swear to God, like I really would. I thought that I was much better with my memory, but I've come
I
to
did
accept
it.
that I'm not. Yeah.
I did it.
So I don't remember this interaction
it.
at all. I really don't. I'm
Holy
sorry. I
shit,
have
I
no
did
idea.
it.
But now you can tell, like I obviously was ready to auto draft.
No, hold on a second. Before we get into strategies,
Then you
because
screamed, gay.
You
Not
did.
gay, the kicker.
Because she had a kicker left to pick. And she's like scrambling. And
You know what?
had a
Stephanie,
Gay.
when you were yelling at her. Yeah.
you did not. I missed
did.
that.
Wait, so Stephanie had
I'm
to
just
pick- Stephanie had
staring
to-
at, I was just like in shock. I'm like, well, not in shock because I've seen Greta like that before, but I'm just like, oh, this is happening.
So she had to pick a kicker.
You screamed gay and you took gay and put him on your draft.
Oh, because she was still like scrambling.
For a
She had
kicker,
ran out
for
of
a
her
kicker.
time limit. She
Yeah.
had ran out of her time limit, and then I was up.
I don't know.
Walk me through this. There's a player whose last name is Gay, and
he's a
Greta
kicker.
Matt Gay.
screams, gay and puts it on the board.
Yeah.
On my team.
Really immature, Greta.
What?
Really immature.
Well, first of all, she was out of her time limit.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just.
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying this.
I'm sorry.
saying
I'm
this
so hold
as
on a second.
And I'm guessing it because I honestly don't remember.
I'm so
anything
sorry.
at this point.
No, ma'am. She was out of her time limit. She was number 1. Please let the audience know what pick you were.
Was I 9?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? Did 2 through 8 also run out of their time?
Well, why was she? I don't understand. Where was everybody else? Why wasn't somebody stopping?
I was watching the
There's
mess
no
that was
stopping
happening.
you.
I was watching the mess that was happening.
There's no stopping you, Greta. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Once you declared,
So I just like usurped her and
Everybody in
6
between.
other people.
Yep.
once you declared that you were on auto draft,
Except for my kicker, apparently.
It was all downhill from there.
now let's actually hold on a second before we get into all of the different tactics that you utilized. I want to ask, especially you, Greta,
Bulldoze tactic.
because you, even though you were fucked up, you told me last night that you were very pleased with your team. Is that not the case?
How many times do I have to say this?
What?
When you have a strategy and it's ingrained in your brain, it doesn't matter how fucked up you are.
Yeah, but she last year was very displeased with her team. This year it's different.
Don't bring that up because her team ripped everybody new assholes consistently, and she still said it. I think she did it to piss everybody off.
She does. She does do that.
Am I wrong here?
No, you're right.
Well, then what type of psychological game is she trying to play now?
she's
that
a bitch. She's a bitch.
But Elayne, she's telling people that her team this year is good. What do you interpret that to mean?
She's
It's
doing
trash.
that. It's trash.
It's actually trash. It's fine. I'm not
Okay,
making
Cooper
it to the
Cup.
championship.
Okay, Cooper Cup.
What's up? What's up?
I can't. My headache's back. My headache's back from last night.
Has anybody checked on Steph? Is she okay? Like, do I need to apologize?
Of course, as her attorney, even though I called her
You're
out for
very good.
missing the
You're
ice
very
in the bathroom, I did check up on her, and she's like, "What?" She didn't even realize what was
Amazing.
happening.
I will
Perfect.
say she had my single favorite moment where when everyone was getting ready to draft and was just at each other's throats, she being the number 1 decided to take the full 90
Oh,
seconds.
that was so annoying.
The
I
full-
told Frank the story, and he goes, "Oh, one of those."
Yeah.
She took and she lorded it over people. In fact, she took the full 90 seconds to make her pick. I thought that was very theatrical.
I do remember her getting ready to lose her absolute shit on you when you fucked up
Oh,
draft
the draft
order.
order.
And
Oh.
it was a possibility that we would have to repick our draft order.
Still think we should have done that.
Which I was fine with because I was pick number 9. And
I
I,
didn't even-
loved the fact that Steph was pick number
Listen.
1 and might have had to lose that.
Still think we should have done
But
that
wait,
because of
no.
listen, I still think we should have done that. I understand. We should have done it where it was just the 12 numbers, not all the other cups. We should have redone it. And I know it sucks for the people who have the pick that they want, but like that's fucked up for the people who are sitting there over and over and over and over again and, not getting a
drunker.
pick.
But
drunker and
but
drunker.
if you got pick 1,
I'd have to eat
I
it, dude.
highly doubt that you would be down to. Oh yeah, I'll go again.
It's easy to make a statement like that if I'm not in that position. Like it's easy to say like, oh, we have to redo it. But at the same time, like it's the integrity of your draft order.
well,
Like you have to eat it at some point because if not, then it's like, fuck it. What are we doing it for?
I didn't give a fuck.
let's go over the games that informed draft day. The first game,
Was me showing up late and having to take a shot.
that's exactly right. So it's the door prize, whoever is late. And Greta took it like a
And by
champ.
the way, wasn't even late. I was there at 11:58.
very
This thing
true.
starts at 12.
But you were the last
But it's
one.
the last one.
Well,
So
technically, Monica didn't show up.
true. Also, still haven't read the group. I need to unmute the group.
It
now.
is
would
the
be
season
nice.
to unmute the group me, okay?
That would be nice. Monica did not show up, which is our newest. Sorry,
Pancakes.
is our newest 12th member, and at 11:30, seriously speaking,
Did you see
she had
Breams?
family issues,
See Breams?
and she could not
Fuera!
attend.
Elayne, do you recall the position that Commissioner Figs was in when I walked in the door after she had just discovered that Monica would not be able to attend?
Yeah, her exact words, and correct me if I'm wrong, were, I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah, she was on the floor.
100%.
She was on the floor.
Not my
and
monkey, not my circus, not my friend I brought in. Not gonna try to figure it out. I did draft day. I bought all the shit. I spent $150+. Didn't ask for any money or anything like that. I am done dealing with problems.
I'll tell you. Don't worry.
No,
Did
it's fine.
you-
It's not, we're past that now. I am done dealing with problems for the day.
Was it relaxing to be able to
Yeah.
let things go?
It was awesome.
even though it got completely fucked up.
Not my monkey, not my circus, bro. I really do feel bad, like it was an emergency. Like I'm not
pancakes,
gonna,
yeah.
I'm not. It was an emergency, but at the same time, I looked at Katrina. I go, "This
You
is
deal
your
with it.
friend.
I agree.
You figure." Am I
she
wrong?
did. And she- no,
did. And she
100%,
did. And she
100%,
did.
she
And
did.
Katrina did.
So let's go over the games. First, we had the door
I
prize.
still don't know what happened.
Then, what was the
Read the
next game?
fucking group me, bro.
What was the next game? What was the next game
Ice
thereafter?
that we all had to chug an ice.
So everyone had to chug an ice, and then the
Good
winner,
starter.
the winner got to choose someone
to drink.
just by their own discretion
Correct.
to drink another ice.
Yes.
How good was that?
Yeah,
Tell
that
me
was
that
great.
wasn't
That
a
was
great
great.
start.
That was great.
That was a great start.
Now, just as a quick thought, ices are so disgusting. Isn't there some other alcohol
Nope.
that you can get people drunk with
No.
without sick?
No.
Why the ice?
Why not?
It's disgusting.
That's well that
But
is
I did make the request that it be the regular flavor
Oh, with
Regular
thank
flavor?
God.
because
Yeah.
last year there was some.
Lemon, lime, and then
I have no idea. It was horrifying.
Atrocious.
And like it was red color number
can still
40,
taste it.
red
I can
color
You
still
could
taste
40.
taste. You could like taste the syrup. You know, like that weird like.
Please. So
What's-
I requested that they be regular flavored
Very
and
cold.
also cold, which kind of
Backfired.
backfired because when we had to chug them, it was
Hurt.
yeah,
Very bad.
painful.
Very.
I just also want to go on record as saying that it's remarkable that Smirnoff Ice presumably puts that product out for people to enjoy it. You use it punitively.
Yeah, like if I ever was somewhere at like a party or something and I see someone sipping on a Smirnoff Ice,
Stop it.
I'm
Immediately no. Immediately
I'd probably
no.
slap it out of their hands. What are you doing, man?
Stop. Get on your knee and fucking chug it like an adult. The fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing with this?
Ugh. I even had a difficult time at Publix trying to find it in the freezer. I go, oh my God, did they stop selling these? Only took them like 2
Oh, we're
decades.
fucked. We're fucked if they stop selling. There's no way.
Because then I'm going to have to go to Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Oh,
Exactly.
My sister-in-law actually for like on their wedding day they were getting ready in several
No.
places and she sent my brother an ice.
Guys,
Amazing.
I'm doing the garter thing at my wedding. But
And you're
while
gonna put an
is-
ice in it. I
that's
love
funny.
it.
That's good.
Don't let him listen to this if that comes out.
No, this. Oh, fuck. Don't release that piece until 2020.
Now,
Fuck.
so after the ice challenge, then there was the mystery box, and we spoke a little bit about Elayne's tragic discovery of another ice.
Ugh.
And not to mention, people are finding ices by this point. There was one dramatic demonstration of integrity where, and we'll get to that in a second, where someone finally conceded to having seen an ice.
That was so good.
And we'll get to that momentarily. But the game after that, so far things were all right. So far nothing had
Yeah.
spun off the tracks
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, we were doing great.
We went into Never Have I Ever. We won't share the questions or the answers therein.
I
but
loved
so
that.
Yeah.
far everything was
That was a good
Yeah,
addition,
that was a
right?
good.
That was fun.
Yeah,
We
I
had a
like
good
that a lot.
time.
I like that.
very good figs. That was a
No, but I thought it would be fun for us, like to take a break and like play a drinking game that was actually fun and not like,
Yeah.
you know.
It's so intense.
Things began to spin a little bit out at Shot Island. What is Shot Island?
You get 36 shot glasses. You put them in a random series. 12 of the 36 have numbers 1 through 12. Jesse.
Those were correct though,
Those were correct. I didn't touch
because
those.
I wrote the number.
They were all correct. Okay? I'm not playing this game where you now are thinking that like Elayne didn't write numbers. I was with her when you were supposed to be there prepping. So anyways, you grab a shot. Some of them have water, some of them have alcohol, some of them have a mix of water and alcohol, and some have numbers. If you don't have a number, you go to the back of the line, try again.
A mix of water and alcohol.
Yeah, to help there was a lot of crying yesterday about like, oh my God, I can't.
I will say that was the one point of charity where Figs did start letting up on the gas pedal of intoxication.
I make them all shots next time.
I would not recommend that, actually.
Why?
Because if you just take the quantity of alcohol that you force fed your fellow league members, like we didn't have medics.
I force fed it to myself.
We didn't have medics on hand. We were not prepared.
We also didn't have a ref on hand.
With that, moving on to the next game, we then moved into trivia. How do you believe?
I love that.
How do you believe the trivia went?
Trivia was super fun too.
Oh my God. I like that it was tailored specific to the person. So I had the question of Boston.
I don't know what you're talking about. If you think
Do
that I
you?
was sabotaging you
Yes.
on purpose,
Oh my God.
100%.
I did.
Why didn't I
specifically-
get the question about the states with the 3 football teams?
Because I knew you were going to answer that.
What was your question?
How many states have NFL teams? And I was
Oh.
like, it's 23. No, it's 22. No, it's 25. And I went 23. What's the answer, Jesse?
22.
Fuck
Oh,
me.
so close.
There was also an interesting thing where there's a question as to how many states have 3 football teams.
Yes.
And I knew that Kristen, being so intelligent, was going to be able to answer that. And so what I did was I gave her the question where I could change the answer. So she said 2, right? Florida and California, which is technically correct because in New York, they don't play in New York, the Giants or the Jets. But obviously, I then made sure that the question was worded in such a way that she would then have to drink had she a Smirnoff Ice. But I think the bigger interesting thing about going back to the Never Have I Ever is Jackie.
That was the best.
The question was, never have I ever lied about seeing a Smirnoff
Oh
Ice.
yeah, that's right.
There was dead silence. And then I said, never have I ever lied about having lied about seeing a Smirnoff Ice.
And this bitch rolls to the sink.
Because we haven't explained this yet. So our theme, we do a theme every year of how we dress up. And this year our theme was bald men. And Jackie,
Greta's favorite theme.
we're not going to go there right now. Jackie, really, she went in, she was committed. So she went as Mr. X and was in the wheelchair. So everybody's sitting
Professor
there.
X, yeah.
Professor X, sorry, yes. She was sitting there. We're all sitting there and everything's silent when he drops the never have I ever lied.
About
lying about seeing a Smirnoff Ice, and you just see her start rolling herself over to take the shot because the shots were over by the sink, like they weren't around us, so she just rolls herself over to the sink.
She just goes, I saw the one on the chessboard.
Yes.
Never have I ever lied about seeing a Smirnoff Ice on draft day.
It was not fucking me, bro.
I'm just gonna look.
That's my attorney.
I'm
It
just gonna
wasn't
look
her.
really closely and see if I can recognize.
I swear.
Okay, wow. I guess there was nobody. Sure. Never have I ever lied about having a Smirnoff Ice on draft day.
I drank the one I peed on.
I saw the one on the chessboard today.
There we go. She said, that's my favorite one. That is awesome.
Which is remarkable because it shows that there was delayed integrity. In other words, the first time she was given the chance to admit it, she couldn't. But when she was called out a second time,
Guilt, man.
It began eating at her.
It was that guilt because she's
good.
like, oh man, he saw me see it.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a clip about it. Clips.
Now, after we finished the trivia round, then there was a roll call, and this was pin the dick on the dick, I believe. And this was
Sure.
this was when cutouts of the male phallus were given to each of the members of the Locust League. They were told to take a shot. They were spun around, and then they were sent towards the picture of an attractive gentleman with his genitalia missing.
That was Michelle's contribution to the gauntlet.
Yeah. Now, do you think that shot and the spinning around is a staple? Is that going to be a part of the gauntlet next year, or is that one that you're going to essentially evaluate? And maybe
I would actually like participants to let me know what their thoughts were on that one.
I liked it. because not liked it, but the spinning got me. I'm like, oh no, the shot and then spinning immediately. That was.
It's why I asked.
So that was like a good.
I think it's like a good buffer game.
Okay. No, because I was when she suggested it, I was like, because I don't want to be like a dictator about the gauntlet, right? Like I want everyone to kind of contribute something as far as the commissioners. And she's like, why don't we do pin the dick on the dude like a bachelorette game? And I was like, oh, like how would that work? And she's like, we'll put Post-its, we'll put numbers on it, and then we'll take a shot, spin 3 times, and then we'll put it. And as the person's taking the shot and spinning, you shift. Somebody else shifts the Post-its with the numbers.
I was trying to cheat so hard at that game, so I saw 2, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go for the upper left-hand corner. But then as I got up there,
it was 11.
It's like changing everything, and then the spinning, and I'm like, I'm fucked.
Yeah, I liked it. It's a good
Okay,
buffer
good.
game.
Okay,
It's a buffer game.
good.
So we already went through the absolute catastrophe of the beer pong and how that completely destroyed the integrity of the draft order. And we're going to talk about the draft order next week when we go over all of the strategies that informed your picks. But before we end this episode, are there any things that you folks want to say about Draft Day 2023 that you think the viewers or listeners should know about the LOCAS League?
Isn't it 2022?
Holy shit. Yeah, thanks. It's 2022.
Good job, ref.
Honestly, I definitely think we need a bartender or pre-mix the drinks the day before, the shots. That I think we need to do.
Yep.
I think the person who's reffing needs to be there an hour earlier.
Agreed.
And it's just to set it up. And I think every year there needs to be a megaphone.
Yes, that was a great addition.
Yeah, the megaphone is a must.
Obviously, Draft Day Daddy couldn't control us, but luckily Jackie is
Well, he didn't. I stood up on a stool.
Yeah.
Screaming at the megaphone.
Yeah, but Jackie,
shout out to Jackie for that.
Fortunately, I mean, this is when it comes in handy to just be an absolute troll, like 1,000,000%.
The best was when you asked her why she had it.
She's like, oh, I'm gonna give him a megaphone, like I have one here, and I was like, this is fucking amazing. Like, why do you have this? And she said, her significant said that he could never hear her, so what she decided to do was get a megaphone. So now everything that she tells him, she screams through a megaphone.
I'm going to the bathroom.
Let's go to bed.
She goes, he said he couldn't hear me. So I got the megaphone to make sure we didn't have that problem anymore.
It's a typical troll tactic of Jackie. Like, I think one of our first little fights that we got into, she showed up at my house the next day and she gives me this tiny little violin case, and inside was a tiny violin.
This bitch. Wow.
Now, this being the house that Jackie built, in a way, the league being something that she put together and which you have expertly managed, I believe.
Thanks, Jesse.
Would you say that you're at year 4? Is this thing now? Does it have wheels? Is this entrenched?
Jackie had wheels.
I mean, I hope so. I think we have a good time.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens next year if we have a couple pregnant league members.
Why do we keep bringing this up?
Because it's happening. I need you to put your seatbelt on.
All right. Speaking of, I'm going to put my seatbelt on and get the fuck out of this podcast. So hope you guys are doing great. Listen in next week for what are we talking about?
Was it the coffee?
I don't know, bro. Whatever. Here we are. What's my line? Something about getting out of our league. If you can't get it the fuck together, like I clearly can't this morning, then you need to get the fuck out of our league.